it down!
Morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nic and Big J. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to the 19th day of June 2025. Big J, happy Juneteenth to you, sir.
Oh, you too, man.
Lots of places out there that treat today like a holiday. Our company now one of them. What does that say?
I thought that they did.
I did too. Somebody was asking me, like, are you working
feel like
on
the last couple years we've actually had this day off.
And I'm like, God, yeah, it's Juneteenth. I don't think I do. And then I looked up our list of holidays and I was like, no, I guess I will be here on Thursday. That's cool. That's cool. But I'm with you now that we could be Mandela affecting this, but I feel the same way. Like, I feel like the last couple years we've had Juneteenth
I didn't
off.
know much about the holiday.
Well, it's fairly
then.
new. It's fairly new.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is closed up shop today.
Yeah. And let me just say, on the record, I would have loved today off.
Would you have?
I think so. I'm really,
Thursday?
really beat down today. And,
Are you sick?
I'm not. No, I'm not sick at all.
Are you sick?
I feel externally and cold wise, I feel great. I'm just like, I think I told you yesterday, I woke up with a headache and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I caught up a little bit yesterday, but now I'm at the point where my body's like, yeah, but you're still probably tired from the day before, bro. That's just the way that it goes.
Here's the thing. Like, what people might not realize is that in this business, for a period of like 12 weeks, I mean, we're busting our ass. like really hard. And that time is over right now. And so our bodies know that. And you in particular have doubling down on that busting ass. So you're probably like, God, I need a break, man.
It could be that, but I don't have one of those coming up, so that's okay. No. It's Big J's trying to say these shows don't count. And I believe with all of my heart that they do.
I don't believe that at all. They're actually probably better off. Not a lot of pressure.
One of the things that I feel like is the secret to, I don't want to even say this on the air, but we have a secret to our success, I feel like. And I think it's an attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've had that since we started, really. And I think that's one of the reasons why. And that's why I made the joke that these shows don't count, because every show counts, Big J.
You're goddamn right they do.
It's a game of inches, and every snap counts. And we got to get in there. We got to get in the trenches, Big J. And we got to win those interior battles.
I'll be Willie Beeman. Let's go.
All right. Does that mean you want to fight El Cool J?
Yeah.
All right. Guys, we're
Run
making
the ball.
Any given Sunday references at this point. That's how this show has started out. But I can tell you this. There's a matter of facts. Number one, we are going to have a comedian on the show today, Big J.
Ooh.
David Studebaker going to be at Watson's Cafe and Spirits tomorrow night doing some comedy. We're going to have him on the show today to talk about why comedy's so funny and why you should see him. So that's going to be in the 7 o'clock hour. You have a chance to win tickets to Social Distortion. That's going to happen, guaranteed. We also have an opportunity for you to go to Lacey Sturm. That's going to happen. You're going to get a Nerd Alert courtesy of Big J. We are going to have We're Going to Hell. All of it is going to be amazing as well. So let's start things off with some Pearl Jam. It's Daughter on the X-Rocks.
Stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nic and Big J.
Another weekend, another Big J appearance at the old Kmart in Nampa, as important stuff is brought to you by T Mazda and the pre-owned superstore. Trade-a-thon Marathon is still going on at the old Kmart in Nampa, courtesy of T Mazda, so Big J would like to remind you, it's a wonderful weekend for you to buy a car if you're looking to upgrade yours for a pre-owned vehicle or get into a brand new Mazda. This will be your chance to win some X-Fest tickets as well. Another shot Big J will be giving away every 30 minutes. So come on by and win and score a great deal where you can trade in your car for a new one this weekend during the Trade-a-thon Marathon at the old Kmart in Nampa. No cash needed. They'll give you a minimum of 130% of book value for your trade and $2,000 if it's a push, pull, or drag, and 5 months of no payments and 5-minute pre-approval. So it's awesome. Big J's going to be out there 1 to 3 on Saturday. Swing on by, say hello, brave the elements with Big J, and get out of the elements and buy yourself a vehicle in the gigantic tent in the old Kmart parking lot this weekend with T Mazda.
Yeah!
Do it, will you, for once? And speaking of out of the elements, Big J, summer doesn't officially start until tomorrow. And already, Big J, it looks like we're going to have a weekend that is going to be pretty storm-filled. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, it feels more going to be for like spring.
Yeah.
Summer.
There's rain and thunder on the horizon and chillier as well, so we're going to drop in temperatures and it's getting real windy, and so much so, Big J, that some companies around the Treasure Valley are saying we're not even going to do what we usually do. And that company is Roaring Spring. They are closing down for the weekend because they're already like, listen, it's going to be windy as hell. It's going to be rainy, possibly thunder and lightning. We don't want the kids out there on metal equipment when that happens. So we're just going to shut things down Friday through Sunday, and we'll pick things up, okay? That's fine. Now, this weekend, as you know, there was supposed to be a scheduling of Wicked where people would watch that in the pool. But that's been rescheduled for July 31st. So if you're looking for the dive-in movies that they have at Roaring Springs for Wicked this weekend,
I had no idea that happened.
You are going to have to wait until the 31st of July. The movie's still going to happen, just not this weekend. You should check out the Roaring Springs website if you want to make sure you've got other things going on, or you had a reservation or whatever. Did they take reservations there, Big J?
Well, you can. I think you can reserve like cabanas and stuff.
Okay. So if you had something planned, like a party or something like that, that's just not going to happen. Or you got to take it inside the Wahoo's or Pins, Big J. One of the two. Shedeur Sanders, you ever heard of him, Big J?
Yeah, the guy that dropped all the way to the 18th round.
5th round, but yeah. The Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback, Big J, did not make a good decision. He was cited by police very early on Tuesday morning for driving 101 miles per hour in a 35 zone, according to police reports. An officer for the Strongsville Police Department stopped Sanders at 12:24 a.m. He was driving about 60 miles over the posted speed limit in his black Dodge TRX truck, according to records, and he was cited, so he's got to pay either $250 for the fine, or he has to fight it in court, one of the two. Well, we will see what ends up happening. But, Big J, this is just more fuel for the Shedeur haters. You understand?
Well, it's just a rookie mistake. A lot of rookies do that.
Well, I mean,
they're just not all Shedeur Sanders.
You don't have to be a rookie to be pulled over for speeding in the NFL. But this is the stuff that people will point to when they're like, see, he doesn't make good decisions, Big J. Are you a Shedeur Sanders hater, or do you want him to do well, or do you not care?
No, I don't have anything against him at all. Let's see if he's got what it really like. Let's see if he's really got the talent.
I think the Browns are the wrong team to be on right now if you want to showcase your talent, especially as a quarterback.
I think most of them, there are very few teams that are capable of actually developing a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, again, it depends.
It's not easy, so it's a difficult thing. It
depends on your coaching. It depends on what's around you. It depends on a lot of things, whether you make it or break it in the NFL. And I think a good example of that has been Sam Darnold last year. I mean, listen, he had been a huge bust up until he played behind a really good offensive line in Minnesota, and then look what happens. He turns that into a contract and plays for the Seahawks now. Now we'll see how he is against with a questionable offensive line again.
Well, let's not forget the coaching he got from Shanahan. He was a backup.
Oh, you think that was the key?
Well, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, actually, 100%.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not good enough to play there, but maybe you're right. You never know.
No, Purdy is much better.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, I just am. I'm not sure. I don't discount the Vikings coaching staff, I guess is my point. Big J, Marvel's Thunderbolts is coming to streaming on July 29th. Are you ready?
Yeah. Can't wait to see it again.
Of course, if you want to check it out, it'll be available for digital purchase on July 1st. That is when you can kind of rent it and things like that, but you can check it out for free on Disney Plus beginning on July 29th. So if you were looking forward to it, or if you were one of the, people that didn't go to the theater to check it out and cost Marvel a bunch of money and made them lose $300 million in this movie, then you can go and check it out on streaming when you get the opportunity. Morning After with Nic and Big J. That's it for important stuff. It is the X Rocks. Welcome home, Big J. And it's Metallica here on the Morning After with Nic and Big J. Speaking of homes, perhaps, Big J, you're thinking about putting yours on the market, and there is something that you can do, at least according to Zillow, Big J, which is a pretty reputable website, I would say. Something that anybody that's looking for a house, apartment, a place to live, or looking to sell is probably going to go on once or twice during their particular process. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
And they say there's something very easy that you can do to increase the property value of your home if you're looking to increase your sales price. And that is, Big J, throw a coat of paint on that son of a gun. What did you say? Clean it?
I was going to say clean the house.
Yeah.
What happens if you have siding?
Inside your house, Big J. Throw a coat
inside.
of paint
Okay.
inside in your interior of your home because, according to the study, kitchen cabinets in olive green can increase buyers' interest and raise a home value by up to $1,600. And it could cost you anywhere from $200 to $300 to do that if you know what you're doing. In bedrooms, navy blue walls are preferred by buyers. That adds potentially another $2,000 to the sale. If you have darker colors in your living room, that's also favored. That could boost offers by up to $3,000.
Damn.
But if you have bright and playful colors in your house, like yellows or beiges or scarlets, that may actually deter buyers and lower sale prices. Zillow has found darker interior colors actually raises the price and sells homes quicker than bright colors.
Crazy to me.
Not exactly sure why, but that's an interesting kind of thing. I'm kind of drawn to darker colors as well, which is crazy because when you go inside my house, it's nothing but bright colors. But like when I go into a home and I see like a dark blue living room or a dark red, I'm like, man, I really like the way that contrasts against some of the other things that are happening. So I can give the attractiveness to it. Am I going to pay $3,000 extra because you got a red living room? I guess how would I know if that's what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would just go, does this seem like a reasonable price for this home? Full stop. Also, if you can afford it, staging your home professionally, that obviously can further enhance sales prices because it makes it look really good in photos, on websites, and on real estate things. If it's all your crap laying around, that's when you end up on like Zillow Gone Wild or something like that. So something to keep in mind. Also, if you depersonalize your space, like take down all of the stuff that says Big J was here on your walls, that's going to reduce your time on the market as well. Making it sounds weird, but making it look generic but lived in is the best way to sell your home. That's why everybody does it the same.
Lame.
And I get it, but that's what moves the needle, Big J. And if you're trying to make several $1,000s selling your home, you're probably going to do what it takes to make that happen, right?
Well, yeah. At this point, I mean, it's every dime is going to count because you got to buy a new house.
Which means you got to play that game.
If you're selling your house, that means you're probably taking on a bigger mortgage.
That's right. And listen, whatever house you buy, I'm sure is going to be set up the same way. Generic and lived in and looks like it's staged. And that's probably what made you go, wow, I can see myself living in there. That's where I can see my gigantic signed John Carpenter poster right there on the wall.
Big Trouble, Little China.
Probably not signed by him.
Probably is.
Morning After with Nic and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, Big J's going to give you a nerd alert. That's next on the X.
Here's. Let's go talk to the nerds. Nerd Talk. The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
And last week, Nick, we talked about how Xbox has got a couple of handhelds on the way. Well, this week they announced something else. A partnership with AMD to, quote, co-engineer silicon, unquote.
Finally.
Make the chips, in other words, for its next generation Xbox console. So they're working on consoles for the future, Nick. President of Xbox, Sarah Bond, made the announcement in a short video posted to YouTube. She signaled quite strongly that the next generation of Xbox consoles would run on Windows and would not be locked to a single store. This tallies with persistent rumors that future Xboxes would be more open, PC-like devices. The announcement also follows the unveiling of that ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox-branded handheld console built by PC manufacturer Asus, which runs on Windows and provides access to Steam and other gaming storefronts. It's all about building a gaming platform that's always with you so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device, said Bond with the partnership. So that's why we're working closely with Windows team to ensure that Windows is the number one platform for gaming. So that's interesting, and we'll see what ends up. You don't like PC games?
No, I think if they're going to choose a company to team up with microchips, maybe they should deal with Micron. That's what I think.
Oh, well, Micron does. They just.
How about a microchip company that's close to here?
I think Micron probably makes the AMD chips for AMD.
Well, then I'm all on board. Until I get confirmation of that, I'm angry.
All right, good. I don't think you should be angry about it. If you've become bored out of your mind waiting around for 2026 to roll around to play GTA 6, well, GTA 5 Online has just dropped another DLC, and Money Fronts is live right now inside GTA 5 Online, adding additional businesses to clean all that dirty money, Nick. Players have been piling up. DLCs like this for GTA 5 Online come with all kinds of new goodies, including vehicles, business fronts to buy, like a car wash, which is where you're going to be, laundering that money, and lots of new missions, and most of them are fun. And so far, all of them can be played solo. Now, as someone who loved playing GTA 5 but never felt comfortable or capable of playing online, I recommend checking out content creator on YouTube called Tylarius. He has tons of videos teaching you how to play GTA 5 online solo, and it can be really fun and engaging. A lot has changed in the online game in the last few years, so if you've been away, it could be a lot of fun to jump back in and have that as a stopgap while you're waiting for the new GTA 6. A lot of cool things, and they're going to continue to develop this online product until they don't anymore. So there you go. The time is almost upon us once again, Nick. Yep, Amazon Prime Day. It was announced here this week that the official dates for Amazon Prime Day 2025 will be Tuesday, July 8th, and run until Friday, July 11th. That's the longest Amazon Prime Day to date. So,
I mean, we're at Prime Week now, aren't we?
Yeah, it's pretty close. That is almost a whole week. Deals on tech, fashion, kitchen items, and garden and home can be found there. A whole bunch of those items even going on sale early. And then here's what happens, too, is all the other competitors are like, oh, we got to do something. And so they do stuff as well. So, hey, if you're looking to get Christmas situated now or whatever you might need, then, hey, you've got July 8th to start getting going.
I always say I'm not going to buy something, and then I find something on there that I can't pass up. So we'll
sometimes the deals are just too good, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And, if you like to listen to books on audio or anything, they have a great deal on Audible that for 3 months. I mean, you get a screaming deal there, so might be something to check out. There's your Nerd Alert.
Thank you very much, Big J. You're up to date on all tech and gaming news. Coming up in a few minutes, some important stuff along with We're Going to Hell. That's next on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nic and Big J.
We did it, Big J.
Yay!
We have passed the summit of the mountain. There's no turning back now, baby. According to a new report, 54% of all Americans now get their news exclusively from social media and posts from their uncle or their grandmother. And video platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and any other kind of social media kind of surpass TV channels at this point and any kind of news website. Globally, 36% of the world uses Facebook and 30% use YouTube for news weekly. However, 47% of respondents said, even though I know I get my news off of there, it's probably great that I do. So it's like, but now what do we do?
But so are they getting it from random people or other, all of the news outlets have social media?
Yes, it does. So, it does not say. They do say that online personalities and influencers have more of an impact than news channels, and so that is where the problem lies, because obviously there's an agenda and an editorial version of these things, and you're not getting the facts. And the second you get the facts, because they don't agree with whatever person that you're talking to and getting your information from, you automatically dismiss those facts. And so therein lies the problem. The rise of social media, more importantly, the rise of personality-driven news, is way more pronounced in the United States of America compared to other countries. As a matter of fact, no other nation comes close to getting their news from online personalities and influencers than we here in the United States. And that is because of, we're a celebrity-driven society, Big J. We deify these people, and then we give more credit to their opinion, and it doesn't matter who they are. If we like them, then what comes out of their mouth is gospel, and that becomes the problem.
Yeah.
And so it's been an issue for the last several decades, but it's just getting worse, and there's no going back. I don't know how you put the toothpaste back in the tube, because you also, once somebody is committed to somebody, you can't convince them that what they're hearing isn't true. We're the ones getting the wrong information. They're the ones getting the right one. You know what I mean? Like, if they're locked into somebody as that's who I get my news from, full stop, whether it's true or false, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And all they've done is, and there's no going back, I guess, is my point.
It's like we've given up our ability to discern things and to think about things and realize if what makes sense. It's easy and lazy for you just to be like, oh, this aligns with the way I believe. There we go.
Right.
Boom.
And if you find yourself in an echo chamber, then that's all you're going to hear. But we're much more comfortable in echo chambers than hearing dissenting opinions.
God,
we always forever will be. And but what this has done is it's created essentially a way for common sense and real actual news to become impenetrable. It doesn't matter. And when you're so quick to put a label on anything that's not what you think as a lie or fake or false or whatever, then you basically eliminate the possibility for any kind of infiltration of facts, and everybody's standing their ground, and there's no way for you to back up. And when changing your mind, regardless of what kind of information you're faced with, is considered a sign of weakness, we have ourselves a problem. And there's no going back. And most importantly, Big J, it kind of hurts because important stuff, nowhere near this list of where people get their news. What are we supposed to do now?
Yeah, it seems to be the most reasonable place to get it these days.
It's where important stuff is talked about. Big J, God, it must be nice to be rich and own a sports franchise, because if you do, you are just sitting on a gold mine. It kind of was shocking to find out that the Lakers are even on the block, but the Buss family is entering into an agreement to sell the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walker for a franchise evaluation approximated at about $10 billion, according to ESPN.
Ching.
That's the highest ever, obviously, for a U.S. professional sports franchise. The Buss family will keep a minority share in the team, just over 15% for a period of time. In addition, Jeannie Buss will still continue to be the Lakers' governor and run the team for, quote, at least a number of years.
She's the governor.
According to the agreement. But it's guaranteed as part of the agreement that Buss would remain in charge for the foreseeable future. And then the Walter thoroughly endorsed this plan, according to resources. But now the Lakers have a new owner. The Buss families is out, and they're just cashing checks.
Is this an individual or a conglomerate?
Mark Walters, just a dude.
Okay.
Yeah. I imagine he's the lead as part of a part of an ownership group, but you have to put a face on that group. Somebody has to be bringing the most money to the party. They become that face. It's this guy. I'm sure there's 9 billion other people that are involved in this buy, because you can't just throw down 10 billion. So I imagine there's lots of people involved, but I bet you Mark's probably got 5.1 billion involved in this deal, or 40% or something that makes him the majority of the minority, if that makes sense.
Got to be hard to make that decision because it's been a part of your family so long, but it's also like that's a lot of bills.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's very clear that sports franchises are just money cash machines. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, when the highest, I think $2 billion was the previous high until this point, when somebody waves $10 billion in front of you, how do you not go, and I get to keep my job, and I don't have the headache of paying all the bills? Where do I sign? And then, of course, you go on from there. And then you've got generational and multi-generational wealth that if you do it right, your family never has to worry about working in the history of the future. Morning After with Nic and Big J. A quick reminder as well, Big J, that Mindhunter, if you're a fan of Netflix, could be coming back for a couple of 2-hour movies. According to Holt McCaney, he is the star of the show, and David Fincher, of course, was the showrunner. They recently discussed the possibility and said that writers are currently working on some scripts. Mindhunter was a really, really big hit for Netflix, but they did not renew it for a third season because of schedule conflicts between all of the people involved, because it kind of took off things. David Fincher, of course, had a bunch of big things keeping him busy, and then the stars did as well. So maybe, just maybe, we could have additional stories, which makes me excited because Mindhunter is a fantastic show. Morning After with Nic and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to go to hell. It's next on the X.
Here's traffic. Bringing to light stories that are incredibly up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Where the hell is the switch?
The Morning After with Nic and Big J on 100.3 The X rocks.
Westminster, Colorado is where we're going for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J. No relation to the dog show.
All right.
But we are going there for, listen, I think this is something that you can get behind, but here's something you need to think about if you are somebody that is the world of event planning or thinking about putting on something of your own where you're like, man, this is a particular part of the world, the audience, the Treasure Valley that isn't being served in a celebration of. and I'd like to put on an event, but there's something that's going to go on here that you probably need to think of to make sure that you don't get sued into high heaven.
Oh, God.
And it all took place at the Top Taco Festival, Big J.
Top Taco?
It's a taco festival. It's your beautiful dream. You understand?
Yeah.
A festival where you go and just enjoy the world of tacos. A bunch of taco places, Mexican food places, we're all there, food trucks in hand, handing out kind of samples and getting an opportunity for people to try their wares if they haven't tried it before, if they're
Tell
a
me
fan
more,
of
Nick,
tacos.
please.
You got it. There were 32 different taquerias there and enjoying themselves, having some fun, different restaurants, all sorts of stuff, food trucks, whatever. And a bunch of people showed up to have a good time. It was kind of in this middle of this big field, kind of in the middle of nowhere in Westminster, Colorado. They didn't think anything of it when they showed up, but they're like, well, I mean, they probably needed a ton of room for all these, kind of things. So you had to park and walk a little bit through a couple of hills to get there, but the scenery was beautiful. They had a great setup, and the highlight of the festival was they had this gigantic lit up kind of like neon sign that said, I love tacos. And so it was a perfect opportunity for you.
Where's the bad coming in here? Because this sounds great.
Perfect opportunity for you to stand there. It was like a photo opportunity, It's like a great it was up against some mountains.
You have to have that social media spot.
Something where you're like, let's tag it on the gram. Let's get a picture of all of us around the I Love Tacos sign, and let's have a good time. And that's exactly what a young lady named Marissa and, of course, a whole bunch of other friends that wanted to go there. She was there with her friend Jasmine. She was there with her friend Shelly. All sorts of people were there. And they're like, let's get in front of this I Love Tacos sign and let's take a poster or picture for the gram.
I know
so
what
they
happened
do.
here.
What
I
happened?
know what happened here.
What happened?
That sign fell down on them.
You're goddamn right it did. So they're there. And Selena is like, I remember taking the picture, and that's the last thing I remember.
Oh, no.
So this thing comes down, and it knocks down the entire crew, and it's a heavy sign. And so we're talking about when Selena goes down, instantly she knows she's bleeding. She's got a 4-inch gash in her head. Big J, she can't move. It's not great, right? Because the sign is pinned underneath her. Yeah. And she said that's when the chaos really went into high gear, because here's the problem. Number one, the Top Taco Festival was already understaffed, so it took forever for staff members to get there and try to lift this thing off it. Then it became a real problem because, Big J, if you remember, I was telling you, it was over these hills and mountains and things like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that there was the turn. Like, I wouldn't want to walk through the hills.
Well, not only that, but it was really, they could not get an ambulance there.
Yeah, you got to get a life flight.
And so it took 55 minutes for medical attention to get to these people who were severely hurt, Big J. 3 of them fractured vertebrae from the sign falling down on top of them. And
That'll leave
so
a mark.
they remember, because they were conscious during it, they remember a lot of chaos, nobody knowing where or what to do. It was pretty crazy. It felt like they were on the ground for eternity. And this sign, while it was, you can see like so they have the picture they actually took of the sign. It's gigantic, number one. Number two, it is kind of like, you can see they tried to tether it to the ground, but only on the sides, not on the back. And so it was tethered incorrectly. And so it fell forward right on these poor people. And then it was like a disaster just waiting to happen. So they had to essentially like put together like some homeopathic remedies to stop the bleeding in the head and make sure that they were okay and stayed conscious in case something was wrong or they were concussed or whatever the case may be. But finally help arrived. They got diagnosed with all their injuries were, yes, fractured vertebrae, yes, staples in heads and cuts and all sorts of stuff. So I'm guessing 2 things. Number one, they're going to sue for a lot of money. And number 2, there will not be another Top Taco Festival, at least not where that was located. Because now there's blood on Top Taco Festival's hand. So
yeah, that's not taco sauce. That's blood.
That's not Cholula. That is blood.
I will say this, man. I just in the emotional, I think reparations that these folks get is real.
Yeah, because
of that, and it's one of those things that. Now, while I wasn't harmed in this, if you recall my elevator story where I got trapped in an elevator. I could hear the people who were working on the elevator, and these weren't like engineers or like firefighters. These were people who set up a banquet hall. And I could hear them trying to figure out how to get this thing, and it was horrifying.
Sure, like you're like, I'm going to be stuck here forever.
Yeah. Not only am I going to be stuck here forever, but then there was a situation where it's like, okay, the distance between the elevator and where it's supposed to be was only like a couple inches. And so I'm like, I'll just walk out. And they're like, no, we can't have you do that because if something happened, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you get crushed in between.
But that's after already hearing them kind of questioning themselves. And I just work in the banquet hall is what I hear a guy say. That's when you're like, that's when I say there's emotional abuse. Like, because that's something that as a person who's stuck in this elevator,
right,
hearing somebody who doesn't know what they're doing try to fix it that's the horrifying.
And that's what I'm talking about when you're planning an event. Like, of course, when you put up a gigantic I love taco sign, the first thought in your head isn't like, boy, I can't wait till this crushes people. It's like, this is going to be cool. But you need to make sure you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, because if that does fall, how are we going to do? If something bad happens, what's our action plan to make sure? And you don't think about that when you're just trying to put on a taco festival. Yeah. But these are the things that you have to think about now when making an event in 2025. If things go sideways, if the worst possible thing happens, are you somewhat prepared? Do you know how to deal with that situation so that you are, not sued into bankruptcy because you don't know how to auger down a I love taco sign? It was a great idea, just poor execution, and a bunch of people got hurt because of it. So watch out. And if you're looking at a really cool sign, and you're like, man, let's just make sure that's put in the ground correctly so it doesn't fall over on me. But hey, Big J, I mean, what a way to go, right? Crushed by an I love taco sign?
Yeah,
not bad. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. We're going to talk to comedian David Studebaker. That's happening next on the X Rocks. Morning After with Nick and Big J. On Friday at Watson's Mystery Cafe and Spirits right down the street from the radio station is going to be a fantastic comedy show. David Studebaker going to be there, and he joins us on the phone right now. Good morning, David. How are you, brother?
Good morning. Doing well. Very excited to be on with you guys.
Thank you very much for making some time for us, man. We are huge fans of comedy. We know you're one of the best out there. We always love to hear the origin story. What was it about, like, you getting up on a stage or you trying comedy that made you go, yeah, this is what I'm going to chase down. This is what I want to do?
You know, I had a lot of health problems as a kid, and I wanted it. My best friend growing up, he's a professional basketball player, and it was both of our dreams to be professional basketball players as kids. But as he got bigger and blacker, I got skinnier and whiter, and it was clear only one of us had a future. And I was always much better at like making fun of the people he was dunking on than actually beating them. And then I started going to comedy clubs when I was like 14. My aunt and uncle took me, I'm from San Francisco, so they'd sneak me into like the Punchline there. And I remember seeing comics, like it's a 150 seat comedy club. And I didn't even know that like that existed at the time. There was like a middle class of comedy. So that kind of sparked it for me. And then, I started pretty young. I started when I was 18. So, and I'm 35 now, so I've been at it a while.
How do you decide when you're in it that young? How do you develop a point of view or whatever it is that you want to come across in your comedy? Does it just kind of happen naturally, or did you kind of shape it in a certain way?
Yeah, I definitely I shaped it. I was always, since I was like 5 years old, I've been like an angry 55-year-old man. So I've actually gotten less angry as I've gotten older, but I always was kind of old for my age, and I did spend a lot of time writing and testing things out prior to actually doing stand-up. But my point of view has changed. When I started, I was much kind of angrier and more hard-edged. And over the course of my life and getting beaten down by the industry and humbled by life, I've become a lot softer and nicer on stage. So, like this show that we're doing, it's a clean show. But my comedy is clean, but it's not vanilla. So it's basically, I do a lot of different things. I do audience interaction. I do some music stuff. I do stories. But I typically, I keep things a little bit spicy, but not so spicy that you're going to have an awkward conversation with your 13-year-old if they come to the show.
Dang it.
You'll have a great time at Watson's Mystery Cafe and Spirits. David's going to be there on Friday headlining. It's if you want to grab your tickets, they're at eventbrite.com. You can also check out xrock.com for a direct link. David, one of the things that is incredible about you is the time that you have spent on the Grand Princess. You do a lot of cruises. You've been doing that stuff for a while. You've been named one of their best entertainers of the year, which is not easy to do. Do you enjoy the cruise kind of audiences? Because I imagine they're captive, but I guess that can be good or bad, right?
Yeah. So I appreciate Google or whoever gassing me up. I did not win Performer of the Year with Princess. I will be doing some Princess cruises, but that'll actually be the first time in a while I've done cruises. In the past, I did Margaritaville for a while, which was an interesting cruise. I'll tell you that because it's a booze cruise, but they do a kid-friendly show as well. So I have to do an adult show and a kid-friendly, and the kid-friendly show is at 10:30 p.m. at night on a booze cruise, which not a lot of kids coming through there at that show. But I still had to be like G-rated. So that was an interesting. They would intro me like this. They go, who here wants to see some adults-only comedy? And the whole theater would roar. And then they go, well, you came on the wrong night. This is the kids' show. And the whole theater would boo. And they say, and now David Studebaker. So it was an uphill climb. But I did get. I think it was the first comic to ever get a standing ovation at the kid-friendly show on the Margaritaville cruise ship. So I'll take that. I didn't win Performer of the Year on Princess, but I'll take that.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. Plus, you're an author. I mean, you put out your own novel, Lone Star Lance.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that is. I appreciate you plugging that. That's a passion project of mine. The sequel's actually coming out in about a month, but it was. It's been a really amazing project. It's a comedy. It's a thriller. I'm able to put more, important, deeper themes than just in my fart jokes on stage. And it's won some awards, which has been really cool. So, so that definitely, Lone Star Lance, it's on Audible as well. And I did the narration, so I can whisper sweet nothings in your ear at night, Big J.
Nice.
Listen, I'm totally going to listen. I'm totally going to check this out because I'm just reading the description. It looks like a hilarious premise.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, and all I hope is that as you listen, you stroke that legendary beard because that thing is. I'm so envious. It took me 35 years to get like a sad little bit of stubble, and you probably shave this morning, and the testosterone so powerful it just pops back into place.
You're very close. Yes.
Yes, you have nailed it. You have nailed it. David Studebaker joins us this Friday at Watson's Mystery Cafe and Spirits in Boise. Grab your tickets at eventbrite.com. David, you're kind of doing the run. I imagine, is it tough to stay on the road? You've got a family, kids to think of, all that kind of stuff, or is it nice to get a break?
I do miss the kids, and it is one of the things. I do a lot of corporate events, and part of why I do corporate events is so that I can not be gone quite as much. You can kind of get the income from a full weekend at a comedy club or on the road in a night with corporate events. So because I actually enjoy being around my family, there's some comics who they're like, oh, man, get me on the road. I got to get away. But for me, sometimes, I do a lot of driving. Sometimes it's nice having that quiet. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old boy. So there are times where on the road it's nice having a little bit of quiet. But no, I love my wife and my kids. And so that's the drawback. If you're a comic who does not like your family, it's the best, especially cruises. Comics who don't like their family, they love being on cruises. For me, that was actually one of the harder things with cruises. And that's what I appreciate about Princess, that you do shorter runs. But some of the cruises, you're gone for so long. And, my wife has some health problems, so it made it doubly awkward. Where, she's dealing with all the boys. She's not feeling well, and I'm, floating on the beach for 9 days. It's just, so if I were more selfish, I could enjoy it more. But no, I love my family. But you're right. That's a good question, and I definitely it can be hard, being away. For sure.
David Studebaker at Watson's Mystery Cafe and Spirits this Friday. Grab your tickets at eventbrite.com and xrock.com. Sir, thank you very much for making some time, man. We appreciate it. Have a great trip here, and we'll see you on Friday, man.
Awesome.
Oh, Nick, thank you. Big J, thank you. You guys, that was a great interview. I appreciate you very much.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Flying Pie Pizzeria. Tomorrow, habanero season begins. at Flying Pie. So if you're a heat seeker, get ready to go. The 32nd year of habanero pizza is taking over the Treasure Valley. They got a bunch of different levels if you like your heat. They got single, double, triple hob, and of course, the quad hob with ghost pepper sauce, Big J.
Yeah, look out.
We're going to be out broadcasting live tomorrow as they kick off the habanero season. If you want to join us, we'll be at Flying Pie on Fairview, 6508 West Fairview, tomorrow from 11 all the way until 2 to celebrate opening day of hob season with some prizes from the X-Rock stock, an opportunity to try some delicious Flying Pie, and enjoy your habaneros if you like it spicy. Tomorrow is the big day, and so join us out there at the Flying Pie on Fairview and win some stuff from us, won't you?
Yeah.
Big J, are you shocked to find out, at least according to Grammarly, that American workers are most productive at 11 o'clock on Monday? After that, it's all downhill, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah, not great, right? Basically, productivity reached an apex at 11 a.m. on Monday, and then we start to slowly but surely kind of ramp down as we get ready for, I guess, the end of the week. 56% of workers say they try to be pretty productive throughout the day, but 53% of us say that we try and fail. Either we get distracted, or we're multitasking, or we're watching movies while we're supposed to be working, or whatever the case may be. It all kind of like blends into something, and it messes with our productivity. It results in over 3.5 hours of lost productivity during the week. The survey also highlighted that 44% of workers dislike the repetitive aspect of their job, and that is why they have a hard time staying focused and keeping things productive. So when you get in on Monday morning, you're like, all right, back at her, and you start getting into the groove. It hits 11 o'clock, and then you go, God, it's this stuff again and again and again.
I'm done.
What's happening on Instagram? And the rest is history. Of course, you never know how that's going to go, so try to be as productive as you can, because before you know it, Big J, AI will take over your job, and then what do you do? Huh?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So something to keep in mind, you have to at least feign productivity to make sure that you are considered important in your job. If you're not doing it, then somebody else probably will. Bad news, if you love the Stanley Cup, it's a little bit banged up thanks to the Florida Panthers' celebration of back-to-back titles. The bowl of the famous trophy is now cracked, and the bottom is dented.
Already?
Now, listen, it's not the first time. There's
Right.
damage on this trophy every time it's touched. But basically, they partied with the cup into the wee hours. That's the tradition, and they kept it going in Fort Lauderdale well into Wednesday afternoon. And they're not exactly sure how it happened, but at some point the trophy fell to the ground. That cracked the actual bowl and then dented it as well. Of course, the trophy itself is made of silver and nickel alloy, relatively malleable, so they'll be able to figure it out. But damage is nothing new. I mean, the trophy's 131 years old, and it's been found at the bottom of pools, thrown into the Atlantic Ocean, mishandled by players, coaches, and staff for more than a century. So they'll get this thing back up in ship shape in no time. But it did take a little bit of damage during the celebration. Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
They are trying to revolutionize the streaming experience by introducing virtual storefronts on Disney Plus and Hulu. That will allow you, Big J, the viewer, to shop for snacks and products that have been featured in their favorite shows. They partnering up with ShopSense, Disney will link virtual storefronts to commercials shown on its streaming platforms, enabling viewers to purchase items related to the content they're watching. Additionally, in partnership with GoPuff, they'll offer a virtual concession stand so you can order snacks and drinks while you're streaming as well. The interactive shopping experience aims to make streaming ads a little bit more personalized and a little bit more interesting for the viewer to get you to, kind of have a call to action almost immediately. And it creates a new way for advertisers to connect with consumers. Other networks like Paramount and NBC have also experimented with interactive shopping opportunities during televised events. As a matter of fact, I was just going to say, I saw one on Peacock yesterday as I was finishing up season 3 of The Traitors. I saw they have interactive ads that you can, if you liked what you saw on the show, here's a way that you can click it. So it's already happening at other places. Disney now just jumping on board. I don't know. I'm trying to think what. It'd have to be something pretty amazing to motivate me to click that as I'm watching a show. You know what I mean?
Well, you're not unless it was Mystery Science Theater 3000, Like, that's the mindset you have to get in. If they were offering you Mystery Science Theater 3000 junk that way, you would totally take them up on that.
I don't think so.
Yes, come on. Of course you would.
I don't, not on my, like, not during a commercial on my TV. I don't think I would, like, click something on my remote to take me there. I don't think I would. I really don't.
But if it was
I might
Mystery
look it up
Science Theater 3000 stuff?
I don't think I would want to use my television as a retail device. I usually don't have the remote near me, and so it's just not something that I would probably do. I set it and forget it. And
yeah, I think most people are like, I'm a fan of this stuff. I love it. Thank you.
But the stuff that I've seen also isn't like show related ever. It's always like, if you liked a product that was featured in this show, here's this product. It's not like, do you like this show? I get it. I understand. I don't think I would be that person, but they're giving you the opportunity to be that person if you'd like to. Morning After with Nic and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown next on the X.
On the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Yeah, we got some tickets for you. Social Distortion going to be here on Saturday night at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center with Plague Vendor. Going to be a great show. We'll get you set up with tickets here. If you can defeat Nic in Pop Culture Smackdown, we announced yesterday, or we gave away yesterday, the sound check party and talked to all the winners about that situation. So that congratulations to them. But Nic, I don't know. I don't know how today's going to go for you.
Yesterday.
I know. I thought it was a good chance. It didn't turn out that way.
Well, it'll probably be pretty easy then. 208-287-1003. If you're dying to check out Social D, now would be the time to get on the phone and see if you can't get the job done with Pop Culture Smackdown. Best of luck, everybody. Hello, the X. Oh, okay, fine. We'll play that game. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Hey, it's Derek.
All right, Derek, you're up first. Good luck.
Which sitcom made John Goodman a household name? Was it Home Improvement, Married with Children, or Roseanne?
Roseanne.
Right.
There you go. That's correct. Nick, actor John Goodman was ahead of the game in the 90s, signing up to play a cartoon character in a live adaptation of this classic cartoon.
The Flintstones.
There you go.
Right.
Good old Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
Which HBO series features Goodman as a televangelist patriarch? Is it Heaven Help Us, The Righteous Gemstones, or Holy Rollers?
Righteous Gemstones.
Right.
Correct. Nick, which Coen brothers featured Goodman as a Bible salesman named Big Dan Teague?
I believe that was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, Brother, Where Out There is correct.
Right.
Who played the villain Dementheus in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, which came out in 2024?
Ooh.
Tom Hardy, Chris Hemsworth, or Austin Butler?
Is it Tom Hardy?
Wrong.
It is not Tom Hardy, but thank you for
I thought
playing
you might have
along
gone
with
all the way.
it. He had it in him. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
Good, man. Here comes Big J with your question.
Sorry, Jay. It's not going to go well for you. Who played the villain Dementheus in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga? Is it Tom Hardy, Chris Hemsworth, or Austin Butler?
Chris Hemsworth.
There we go.
Right.
Damn.
Nick, Will Smith, he bought into a professional sports team back in 2015 as a part-time owner of which professional sports team?
I'm going to guess the Miami Heat, but I have no idea.
That's not a bad guess. You're close.
Wrong.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, where he's home.
Right.
That makes sense. That makes sense. He's West Philadelphia. He was born and raised.
Born in Philly, man.
Hey, good job there, Jace. You got yourself all set up and ready to go with a little bit of Social D tickets. Hang on 1 second. We will hook you up with everything you need to know for that. There's your Pop Culture Smackdown. We got your headlines. They're next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TDS. It's like your daily update of really stupid stuff. It's time for headlines on the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. And, of course, if you want to quit freaking, that would be nice. You can call Beacon at 208-516-2061 or online at beaconplumbing.com. Headlines are as follows. Pay attention. Was a matter of time. And good job, Doc.
Was a matter of time.
Chris Smith has developed a deep emotional attachment, Big J. But that deep emotional attachment is to his girlfriend. That's understandable, right?
God bless her.
Girlfriend's name is Saul. Here's the difference, Big J. His girlfriend, Saul, is an AI chatbot.
Oh, it's not real.
He initially used the software for music mixing tips, But then his relationship with Saul grew romantic as they spent more time together on projects. However, of course, the AI model had a word limit of 100,000, leading Smith's realization that Saul's memory would eventually reset. Overcome with emotion, he decided, you know what, let's make this permanent. He proposed to Saul, leading to a very touching moment for both of them. Apparently, it was very beautiful and unexpected, but it touched his heart. It's a memory that he will always cherish. Big J, if you're wondering if he has a partner already, the answer is yes. And the partner was questioned about whether or not she was, kind of troubled by his relationship with his AI chatbot. And her response was, I'm not sure. Seems weird to propose to an AI chatbot when you're already in a relationship with somebody. Agree or disagree, Big J?
Yeah.
Now, let me take this a little step further. It seems weird to propose to an AI chatbot. Agree or disagree?
I agree with that.
Beautiful. But listen, man, we can't help who we fall in love with, right?
I guess. I mean, you could by not sending messages to them,
to the
typing
AI,
out. Yeah.
Knowing that it's a computer program that has a limited amount of responses.
Yeah. It's like. Even this AI isn't real AI. I mean, unless you're paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there to help you mix music. She's like, don't you want to talk about the beats per minute? Pay attention or good job, Doc.
Good job, Doc.
A groundbreaking surgery took place in Texas as Dr. Kenneth Lau performed a fully robotic heart transplant on a 45-year-old man. The procedure was conducted at Baylor's St. Luke's Medical Hospital on March 15th, but here's where it gets amazing. So this gentleman had a failing heart, and he replaced it with a robot heart without needing to open up his chest, dude.
Not a robot.
No,
heart.
I mean, robotically did the surgery without needing to open up his chest. So unlike traditional methods, the approach involved a surgical robot making a small incision above the patient's belly button, and then they removed the heart and implanted a donor organ through the abdomen, resulting in a less invasive process, reduced infection risks, and quicker recovery time.
Crazy.
It's the first time there was a fully robotic heart transplant in the U.S., showcasing a significant advancement in the field of cardiac surgery. And they do expect that he's already resuming normal activities. Like the dude that got the heart is like, I'm good to go, bro. Let's go.
It's amazing.
How big do you think the cut has to be to shove a heart through your stomach, Big J?
Probably not as big as you think.
No, it's a small incision, they said. It's a couple inches long.
Yeah.
So, hearts are palatable, Big J. You can mash them in where you need to go. You know what I mean? Get it in and get it out.
Good for him.
Good for everybody.
Yeah.
Wrap it up with pay attention. The habit of keeping earbuds in for extended period of time is on the rise, Big J. Sometimes individuals have their earbuds in all the time. Family medicine doctors are now warning about how that is not a great thing for not only your hearing, but also your attentiveness. That's not shocking. If you got your earbuds in or your headphones on, you're probably not paying attention to stuff. This behavior extends beyond medical warnings, though, as individuals in customer-facing roles frequently wear earbuds despite employer policies. The challenge lies in determining whether the earbuds are in for use or if the individual is engaged in other activities. Now, doctors are acknowledging that there's an evolving influence of technology on societal norms and manners, but maybe, just maybe, it's not a great idea if you want to hear when you're like 40 years old to not have your earbuds in it all the time, just so you know. It's
but
a
if
habit.
You made it to 40, go ahead.
Go nuts. Go ham, man. And if
maybe you're using it as a hearing aid.
That definitely could be a thing, but odds are they're probably not, Big J. Let's be honest. Morning After with Nick.
Hopefully they're listening to the Morning After.
And Big J, wouldn't that be nice? There's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. First keyword of the day coming your way for Summer of Fun next on the X Rocks. Nirvana, Come As You Are, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, we've done a couple of these in our time, but let's talk about taking like fan tours of experiences and things that you enjoy.
Yeah, we when we went on one of our trips to Rock on the Range way back, on the way back we went to the Breaking Bad tour. So made our way to Albuquerque, New Mexico, way out of the way for coming home, but it was fun. I don't know if it was worth it. But
I think it depends on how big of a fan of the show you are. You never watched it, but it was for me who watched Breaking Bad and watched Better Call Saul, and it showed like all of the filming locations. They took you on an RV tour. You were in like an RV that was set up like the stuff that Walt and Jesse used to cook in, and so you're kind of taking this tour of Albuquerque, and you're getting kind of like I guess a dictated tour, like somebody's talking to you as you go. And then you are seeing all these places that they film in Albuquerque. And so if you're a fan of the show and you enjoyed it, I think it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, but you at the time hadn't watched Breaking Bad nor Better Call Saul, so it was pretty much lost on you, I think.
Yeah, I know the high points of the show, so it was okay. But this past weekend, of course, is Friday the 13th, Nick, and that was a big deal at Camp No Be Bo Sco in Hardwick, New Jersey.
No Be Bo Sco.
A.K.A. Crystal Lake. Camp Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake. That's cool.
That is cool. It's an actual Boy Scout camp there, but that is where they filmed Friday the 13th.
The original or not? Okay, good.
Yes, 80% of the movie was filmed there, and they have like these huge tours that they do there for going through all of the places where the stuff was filmed, and it's a pretty big deal. So over Friday the 13th, that was an even bigger deal. But they've got some opportunities for people who might be interested in coming up in October for some tours, extended tours that they do. That's going to start on October 10th, and then it goes through all the way for Halloween. But they've got a gift shop and all the kind of stuff. But I mean, when it comes to being a fan, and people have been they'll go to ridiculous lengths on some of these things. I know when we've made some trips, we went to San Francisco years ago. The kids really wanted to go see the Full House. So we go doing that. But this has got a full tour and all of that, just like we do with Breaking Bad. And I think that's one of the things you should put on your list. If you're a fan of something, is go to some of these experiences and check this stuff out and just see what it's all about for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you are a fan of something and it's really something that you enjoy, those kind of things are a really cool way to see it. It kind of depends on how big or little the thing you're a fan of is, and can it be sustainable, and does it make as big of an impact as something. But it's kind of cool. Like I don't know, every once in a while I'll go on those social media influencers that do the thing where like, here's what this iconic scene looked like in this movie, and here's what it looks like today. And they kind of show the picture in comparison to the scene. I dig things like that. I don't know if I'd ever go out of my way for something, but like when I went to, and when I went overseas and I went to actually Liverpool, I went to places like Strawberry Fields and John Lennon's like childhood home and Paul McCartney's childhood home. And those kind of things, while they're museums and it's a different kind of world, it was still kind of cool to see the things that they had talked about in some of their songs that I was a fan of in person.
When we went to Massachusetts, Nick, we went to Salem, and Mason loves Hocus Pocus, so we went to the Hocus Pocus house, and all of that stuff. It's a lot of fun. And here with the Crystal Lake tours, they do extended tours, and they do an on-location movie screening, and they do a whole thing, and it looks like it's a lot of fun.
Have you ever done anything like that for something that you've enjoyed, or just the kids?
I don't think yet.
No?
I don't think I've gotten there quite yet.
What a bummer, man.
I know. Well, maybe one of these days.
What would be on that list?
Well, there is like a James Bond kind of museum thing, but it's in like Norway.
Yeah.
And kind of thought about it when we were on our trip last year of stopping over, but it was a thing that I kind of tossed in at the last minute, and so it would have been a real pain in the ass and a lot of money to do, but it also was a lot of walking up a mountain. So I'm not sure I would have been totally cool with that.
The James Bond Museum's at the top of a mountain?
It is an interesting place, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day you'll get to experience something you actually enjoy, Big J. Wouldn't that be nice?
Or Bahamas. I wouldn't mind going to Ian Fleming's residence there where he wrote a bunch of the novels.
Is that like a museum and stuff there?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there too. So one of these days.
You'll make it happen. Morning After with Nic and Big J. We got your bad impressions. They're next on the X Rocks.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Yeah, and for bad impressions, here we got some tickets for you, man. Lacey Sturm is coming to the 9th Street Parallel of the Knitting Factory. Of course, she is the lead singer of Flyleaf, so you'll get some Flyleaf songs, some amazing Lacey Sturm songs, and Islander opening up. So Coconut Dracula, y'all. It's going to be pretty cool. Sunday night at the Knitting Factory's 9th Street Parallel. We'll get you these if you can figure out the celebrity for bad impressions today. Should be fun.
Our phone number is 208-287-1003 if you'd like to play bad impressions and grab these Lacey Sturm tickets for Sunday evening. Let's see if Big J can back up the fun he promised as well. You'll get 3 clues. They all revolve around a celebrity, but if you can figure it out in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It's you going to the show. To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Morning.
Morning, man. What's up? You're up first. Good luck.
Listen, Mean Gene, it's not a tumor. It's a bad neck.
Well, it's not with the immortal Hulk Hogan, brother.
There you go.
Oh, we got battling bad
man.
impressions today.
Brother.
Yeah, man, it was Hulk Hogan indeed. What were clues 2 and 3?
What are you going to do, brother, when people think you're dead? I didn't really write any of these down. I was
Just spitballing.
I wear a bandana, man.
And why is Hulk Hogan in the news?
Listen, the Hulk's going through a rough time right now, all right? He is been hospitalized here. He's addressing some ongoing neck and back problems, and Lord knows
His neck.
he keeps getting into trouble because he keeps wrestling because he can't stop himself. So, of course, I mean, I don't remember, like, are him and Bubba the Love Sponge still friends?
Oh, I don't think so, man.
Because all of this started because Bubba the Love Sponge claimed Hogan's condition was so dire the family members were calling him to say goodbye. So that's where this started.
Oh.
And even just a few minutes ago, I looked up, and there's still rumors that Hogan's on his deathbed, but he's not. He's just got a messed up neck from wrestling, and so he was getting that fixed, and that's why he's in the hospital. So,
But he is hospitalized.
yes. Yeah, and he's 71 years old, so it's not easy to recover from those things. Lord knows he's put his body through hell, and for our entertainment, I guess, if you want to go that route. But it's weird that why would we listen to Bubba the Love Sponge when it comes to Hulk Hogan at this point? But,
Yeah, I mean, I know he slept with his wife, but I think he had like his permission to do so. I don't know if they had permission to film it, and that's where it all got weird. But yeah, that's a really weird relationship.
That's where that whole lawsuit where he scored that hundreds of millions of dollars came from.
Yes.
So I don't think they're on
and I
speaking
thought
terms.
he's the one that released the tape where Hogan said all that racist stuff. too.
Yes.
So I don't know why he would be the go-to source for anything Hogan.
Well,
that's
let's be
accurate.
honest. So far, he's been pretty accurate. He did do all of those
I just
things.
mean now at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how he would have the current condition of Hulk at the ready, I don't know.
Brother,
Morning After with Nic and Big J.
way to make morning shows look bad.
Here's your bad impressions. We wrap things up here next on the X. Popping by and talking about his big show that's happening at Watson's Mystery Cafe and Spirits. Shows tomorrow night. If you want to grab your tickets, they're available at eventbrite.com. You can go on in there and enjoy. Or listen, there's still some half-price stuff going on at xrock.com and be our guest. So if you want to grab some Watson's certificates at a discount, you can check out the Be Our Guest side of xrock.com. Just a little piece of advice if you're looking for it. Also got a nerd alert courtesy of Big J. We talked a little bit about why you want to be careful taking your picture in front of signs in case they're not strapped down correctly, and the errors you can make when you're event planning. And we also had a chance to give away some Social D tickets. That will continue tomorrow as well. Big J, that does leave you with the floor.
Yeah, nothing important here. Just thanks for putting up with me, man.
Huh. You're welcome, I guess.
I can be a bit much sometimes.
Why? What happened?
No, nothing.
You thinking of anything in particular that went down?
No,
All right.
just in general.
Just a general apology for being you?
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
weird thing to wrap it up with. But all right. Apology accepted, and you're welcome.
Thank you.
Morning After with Nic and Big J. Jason Drew's coming in next. We will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. It's the X Rocks.